Hey everybody, it's Miss Jill here, and today I'm going to be doing a video about how to get your front splits. So this video is really good if you want to enhance the height of your kicks, get your kicks higher, good for leg holds. If you're not in your front splits already, this is going to help you hopefully get closer, and if you are already in your front splits, this is going to help you get deeper in your splits into an over split or a closed hip split, which we will go over later. Okay, so before we get started, I would definitely recommend warming up. Do some jumping jacks, a regular warm-up routine you do in class. You could go over your dance routine a couple times. Just get your muscles nice and warm, because if we don't get our muscles warm, then we run the risk of overstretching our muscles, and that's not going to help anybody. So the first thing I want to do is we're just going to go down into a deep lunge. We're going to point our feet out and try to push your knees out to the side. Then you can switch. And the other side. The next thing we're going to do is put our feet a little bit more than shoulder width apart. I just want you to hang down. So if you can only go to here, that's totally fine. Try to drop your head, and you really should be feeling a stretch in the back of our legs. It's called our hamstrings. Really important for our splits. If you can touch the floor, I want you to try to go deeper. Try to bend your elbows, and you should really feel that stretch. If you are really close to the floor, like me, you can grab your elbows and put your head down and try to get your elbows to touch the floor. We're just going to hold that for a few seconds at whatever stage you're at. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to reach for one ankle, and if you're only here, that's fine. And if you're lower down than that, I want you to try to get your chest to touch your thigh. Awesome, we're going to do the other ankle. All right, so we got our head down a little bit, so I just kind of take a little time, roll out my neck, get my head a little bit less dizzy. So I would always recommend stretching your less flexible side first. For me, that just helps me. It gives me a little confidence boost, but whatever you want to do is up to you. So I'm going to start with my right side. So we're just going to go have our one leg straight and the other one straight behind us, kind of making a little triangle with our legs. And I just want you to reach forward and try to get your chest or your head to touch your leg. Great. Let's go into our right lunge. And I know that we all want to kind of fall into our lunge. That feels really nice. But I'd like to challenge you to try to actually get up in your lunge. You should feel a bit of a deeper stretch in your hips. Just for a few seconds. We're going to put our knee down. And then, same thing. Try to stay up here. One thing that we really want to realize, and I see a lot of my students do this, is I don't want my knee to come over my ankle like this, because that's not stretching us. What you want to be doing in this position is try to push your back thigh to the ground. So if you're kind of close, you can try to touch the floor a little bit, give you some balance. Awesome. We're going to go back into our half backwards lunge, halfway down. I want to flex my foot to get the deepest stretch. And then I actually like to cross my hand over and try to touch my head to my knee. If you're not quite there yet, you can just try to reach for your foot, try to reach over your foot, that kind of thing. Awesome. All right, we're gonna do the other leg. So straight legs, doing this on my left now. So I'm gonna come forward, try to get my chest to my leg. Let's go down in our lunge. And if you can, try to come up. Give yourself a little bit of balance there. Let's put our knee down. Try to press your back thigh to the floor. Make sure that our knee and our ankle are staying in a straight line. Let's go back into our backwards lunge. Again, if you can, try to flex that foot and cross your leg or cross your arm over to the other side of your leg. It's really going to give you a deep stretch. Okay, so next up, we're going to stretch out our hips. So if you want to come down, we're just going to go into a pigeon pose. Again, I'm starting on my right foot, but you can start on whatever foot you want to. If you're more of a beginner or not quite as flexible, you can just bend your knee in like this, nice and close to your body. And if you're a little bit more advanced or that's not really giving you a stretch, try to bring your leg out a little bit, because eventually we want to have our leg out at a 90-degree angle. But just go slow. Go a little bit at a time, and you can hold your ankle here if it starts to slip back, as long as it's not uncomfortable or any sharp pain. Hold it here. Let's come down. I really want to feel this stretch in the outside of my hip. Come down. Really try to sit in it and lean over this front leg a lot, and it'll press your leg down more, and it should give you a deeper stretch. Awesome. Let's come up, and I want you to try to grab your back leg and pull it towards your thigh. If you're only here, that's totally okay. Just try to bring it a little closer. Bring that down nice and gentle, and let's switch over to our other side. So again, pigeon pose. Bring your foot out as far as you feel a good stretch. And let's come down. Awesome, let's come up. Try to grab that back foot. This is a great stretch also if you have sensitive knees. So sometimes we do another stretch that's more of a lunge, and then we bring our back foot up. I know some people find that really hard on their knees, so this is a lot easier on your knees in my opinion. Okay, awesome. Let's come into our butterfly. Do a little bit on our outer hips. Make sure you try to keep your feet together. Now it's awesome to get our knees all the way down to the ground, but my feet are all the way out like this. I'm not really doing it. So try to keep them together, and you can just use your elbow and your hand to try to push yourself down closer to the floor. So next up, we're gonna go into a straddle. So a good marker for this, especially if you're working on getting your middle splits, is I like to line my ankles up with the edge of my yoga mat. So it kind of just shows me how far I have to go. We're just gonna sit here. I like to sink into it, rock back and forth a little bit. And we're gonna reach over to one side. Great, let's put our chest down forwards towards our knee. All right, let's switch to the other side. Again, I'm really trying to pull my leg towards me, so I'm bending my elbow quite a bit. So if you're at the point where you're here or you're here and you're kind of just here, try to go deeper, try to go farther than that. All right, let's go our chest to our leg. Awesome. All right, next we're gonna get into our big event, which is our actual front splits. So again, I like to start with my less flexible side. This gives you a little bit of confidence boost when you go over to the other side and you're like, oh, look how far down I am. So I'm gonna start with my right split. And I'm just gonna go as far down as I can. Lift my arms up to try to push myself down. All right, let's share with you a little tip. So again, I like to start with my less flexible side. This gives you a little bit of confidence boost when you go over to the other side and you're like, oh, look how far down I am. So I'm gonna start with my right split. And I'm just gonna go as far down as I can. Lift my arms up to try to push myself down. All right, let's share with you a little tip to do before I got into my splits was take some pillows, put them down on the ground, and do your split to where it's comfortable, to where you can hold it. So you might need one pillow, you might need four, that's totally fine. And then all I want to do is just lift my arms up. So this way I stay balanced and I'm still supported, so I'm not running the risk of overstretching my leg or pulling a muscle. So here, and every time you try it, try to take a pillow away. So maybe you start with 4 and you go down to 3. Just try to do it every time, and every time you might not be able to take one away, but eventually you'll be able to take more pillows away and eventually you'll be fine down on the floor. Awesome, okay, let's switch to our left split, which is where I'm going to show you my other tip. So this is my better split, obviously, to me anyway. So I'll lift my arms up. If you need your pillows, get your pillows. But this stretch I'm going to show you is if you already have your front split how you can get deeper in your front split. So just like we did our pillows before, this time I'm going to put my pillow in front of my foot, and I'll put my foot up on this pillow, and this is going to help us get our oversplit. So it keeps your foot supported, and again, lift up your arms, try to press yourself down. So that's really going to enhance the height of your split. Okay, so next up we are going to get into our closed hip split stretches that I talked about earlier. So if you're not in your what we call open hip split, which is what we just demonstrated, then these might be a little too advanced for you, but you can surely give them a try if you want to. Just make sure you don't hurt yourself. So basically the difference between a closed hip split and open hip split is, so if I'm in my split here, my hips are not squared, they're opened up, which is okay, that's fine, and my belly button probably will be a little bit to the side. In a closed hip split, we want to be able to have our belly button to the front, so both of our hips, in theory, would be beside each other, back leg out. It's quite a bit harder, but these stretches will help us start to get into that position. Okay, so the first stretch we're going to do is called extended crescent moon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my foot out forward, and I'm just going to walk my hands back like this, making sure that my belly button is still facing forward. I'm going to bend, stretch, bend, stretch, bend, stretch. Relax your shoulders if you can. And then on this last one, we're just going to hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, the next stretch is called closed hip split prep. So it's all in the name right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flex my foot, bring my foot out quite a bit further. I don't want my calf to be touching the ground. And then here, and you're going to have your back foot flexed, and we're just going to come up and down, up and down. Again, make sure that your belly button is facing forward, down, and let's hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Let's switch to the other side. We're just going to do the same stretches we just did. So let's start with our extended crescent moon stretch. So have my foot out here, and I'm just going up, down, up, down, up, down, and let's hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. We're going to our closed hip split prep, moving this foot forward. Flex our ankle, and walk up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Okay, so that's all the stretches I have for us today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let us know if there's anything else you want us to do some videos on. Stay safe, keep dancing, and I hope everybody is having a good week. Bye!